16 months ago, I weighed over 400 pounds. I have been overweight most of my life. The older I got, the heavier I became. Probably my mid to late 20s that my weight really started to get out of control. It really had an effect on me. As my weight increased, so did my depression, which brought me basically till the end of 2015. At that point, I kind of hit a really low point in my life. You can imagine that at that weight, what kind of effect that has on your body. I was in pain constantly. I was not sleeping well. I was borderline diabetic. And you walk into a room and you're very, very self-conscious. And so I knew that I had to make a change. I love my girls, 4 beautiful girls and a lovely wife, and I wanted to be there for them. Here I am holding a pair of jeans that at one point fit snug on me. These are size 56. I am now currently a 34 waist. I actually recently was able to fit myself into one leg. I had been down the dieting path before, and there's a lot of misinformation out there about dieting. I came across a free app. I replaced saturated fats with lean proteins. I started including more nutrient-dense foods like healthy vegetables. I started to notice a change in the way I was feeling. I was feeling better. I also knew that I had to incorporate some physical exercise. I was walking every night, and the weight started coming off. I stuck with my plan. I worked with my doctor along the way. My first month, I lost 20 pounds. I had started increasing my physical activity at the gym, and so I'd started running on a treadmill. So I decided I'm gonna run a 5K, and so I did it. It was exciting. I loved it. It was a great atmosphere. I wanted more. McCady Hospital had a Facebook contest for entry into a series of 5 training races that lead up to the Ogden City Marathon. And they picked me as one of the winners, which was fantastic. So I was ecstatic. As I reflect back on the journey that I've taken over the last 16 months, it has been such a life changer for me. I've discovered a new purpose and a new sense of life that I never knew even existed out there. If anyone's looking to make a change with their health, I would encourage you to do so. I've found a purpose, I've found passion, a sense of just well-being with my health and with life. It's so powerful for me. I feel like there's just no limit for me for where I'm at. 16 months ago, I had no idea I would be standing right here on top of a mountain in a canyon, getting ready to run my first marathon. You could tell that the tension and the excitement was almost palpable. You could just feel it in the air that people were ready to get this thing going. As the race started, I really started to focus in on all of my training. One of the dangers of starting off in a race is to go out too fast because of your adrenaline and your energy and the people running around you. You want to run your own race, especially for that distance. As I ran through the marathon, there was definitely different phases. It was probably mile 16 that my legs and my feet started to hurt, and I really kind of had to dig down deep. The most challenging point of that whole race was probably mile 20. It was challenging physically, it was challenging emotionally. My body was telling me at that point that, hey, you ran a great race, you put in 20 miles, nobody would fault you for stopping here. I mean, you've come so far, and all of these thoughts and self-doubt all came kind of flooding back to me at that point. But I knew that if I was going to accomplish this, I just had to keep putting one foot in front of the other. There was a point where I was running through a dark tunnel and I could see the light on that other side, and I knew that the only way I was going to get through this was running towards that end and putting all my self-doubt behind me and just getting through there. At the very last leg, you round a corner and you can see the finish line in the distance. I could see myself moving closer and closer, and I could feel the energy of the crowd and the people cheering me on, and everything else around me just kind of faded away, except for that finish line. I could see that in my sights, and I gave it everything that I've got, which was almost life-changing for me. They were able to put a finisher's medal around me, and then I saw my wife and my kids cheering me on, and nothing was so sweet to be able to go over and give my wife the biggest hug and kiss and know that they were there supporting me on this whole time. There's definitely lessons that I learned from running a marathon. Not everything goes as planned. There's definitely going to be some setbacks, and I had to learn to overcome those. Just like you build muscles by overcoming adversity, you also build character by overcoming opposition. Just like when I was running that race, I had volunteers and aid stations along the way. There's going to be professionals, healthcare providers, doctors, all of those things that can be there to help support you as you go along the way. Anybody going through a tough time or a challenging time, just look to the light at the end of the tunnel. It may be bleak and it may seem difficult at the time, but if you can focus in and keep pushing forward using that persistence, there's going to be people there that can support you. You're going to be able to make it through. And just like me completing this marathon, if you set your mind to it, you can accomplish anything. I want to say thank you to McCady Hospital. I was able to participate in the Striders Winter Race Circuit, which was a series of training races that helped me train and build up for the Ogden Marathon. There's just so much out there in life that it's amazing what you can really accomplish and do if you can just put your mind to it and just start putting one foot in front of the other.